Hey Taurus. Earlier, earlier I ate a couple slices of toast, and first I noticed that the tip of one of the slices had mold. So I was like, oh, so I cut just that piece and ate the bread. I was like, well, don't throw out the baby with the bathwater and don't waste. Okay, but then I was still hungry, so I grabbed another piece of toast, and on this one I noticed that two of the edges, two of the corners had mold on them. And then I looked further into the loaf and I was like, okay, this one is a goner. I threw the entire thing away. Moral of the story is wherever there is seen rot, you can count that there is also unseen rot yet to be seen, at least, at the very least. When you recognize something corrupt in a place, obviously one bad apple shouldn't, you shouldn't punish the tree or cut down the tree. But pay attention, right? As soon as I paid attention, I realized I have to throw out the loaf. I hate throwing out food, but that's what it is. You are what you eat. We should not be consuming rot or mold, and that includes your life. If you recognize that you're in a place, a situation where you recognize corruption or a certain level of rot, pay attention. It is very likely that it is spread in other areas that you just haven't recognized yet. And often when you search for it, you find it. So maybe you didn't notice. So make sure to notice. Okay, if something feels not right, and you're like, well, maybe it's just a one-time thing. Things tend to be themes. Things are themes. Um, it's very rarely that something is singular. I mean, I don't want you to go and like assume the worst of everyone, and if someone makes one little mistake, then oh, now they need to be thrown out or punished, or you need to leave everything, or whatever applies. We make mistakes. We can to a certain degree change and improve. All I'm saying is pay attention, and if it's something serious, I feel like you may have been experiencing bottom of the deck, the devil. Yeah, there's a level of corruption in this situation. There's a level of deceit, there's a level of delusion, there's a level of um, manipulation, and abuse of power. Oh, that one rang strong. So a level of abuse of power. So maybe you work somewhere, as part of an organization or a group, or maybe you're in a relationship um, that has been feeling toxic recently, that has been feeling very abrasive, controlling, um, kind of stepping outside their line, or um, and listen to your gut, listen to your instincts. In the Buddhist terminology, listen to your inner Buddha. If you feel like something is not right, grab that thread and see where it leads you to. Things don't appear for no reason. 9 of Wands, but you're scared to do that. You feel timid about doing that. You don't want to know. I'm going to say something that when I say it, most people don't like hearing it when I say it to them, but when you don't want to know, you already know, right? When you don't want to know that you love someone, you already know that you love them. When you don't want to know that someone is corrupt because it, sabotages other aspects of your life that you're comfortable with or that you care about, then you already know. And holding on, you know, seeing something but pretending you're not seeing it. Enough blinds in the world. Don't add yourself into that mixture. You know, Leonardo da Vinci divided human beings into three types. He said that humans are there are those who see without being shown, who will see no matter what, the truth. There are those who see the truth when shown, and then there are those that will never see no matter whether they're shown or not. Okay? If you can see with or without being shown, but you've already opened your eyes to something, don't close them. This life is one big journey for awareness, for enlightenment. So if you're on that path, if you're here on the existential shift watching this, if you're on a spiritual path, if you're a seeker of truth, if you claim to live by truth, but then you go and close your eyes because of fear or convenience, oy vey. Show me more, please, for Taurus. Seven of Pentacles. It's disappointing. Yes, you have invested in the situation. You have given a lot. You have worked hard. And it's more than one apple that seems to be, more than one piece of fruit that seems to be a little off. And you try to clear out that rotten piece and that piece with mold and cut the end before you know it, nothing left. You gotta know when to the flower is dead. You know, sometimes people will have a bouquet of flower and it's beautiful and it's full of life and it brings so much beauty. But then naturally, the flowers, you know, die. And some people hold on to that bouquet like a bouquet of dead flowers. Oh no, there's one leaf that is still alive. That leaf is desperate to take itself out of the environment of rot and be back into the soil so that it could die peacefully. And you need to take out rot out of your home. It's not a good energy to hold on to death, any sort of death, a dead relationship, a dead belief system, a dead way of life. Apply whatever applies to you, right? I have different people watching me. However it plays out for you, apply it there. So if it's 9 flowers that are alive and one that is gone, that is, you know, that has dwindled, take that one out and put it back to the soil. Sure. But pay attention and be able to recognize. I'm sorry, whatever this is hasn't worked out. I'm sorry that I have to like be the alarm sound. Like, I think you already know, right? Because you didn't want to know, which means you already know. So you already know. You just, I guess, maybe needed to hear it. Beautiful. Ace of Wands and the Chariot. When you accept that something isn't what you thought it was, something in your system can open up to something new and powerful, and that is in true alignment with your path. Hold on. And you get to have more energy and more vitality and more clarity of mind and sight to be able to live by it, pursue it. Something is waking up in you. You have been, this is a cycle is reaching its end. It's right at its finish point, and you can tell you're still trying to hold on to it, but you can already tell, kind of looking at those flowers and like, oh my God, that was so beautiful. Time to let go of that bouquet. Time to let go of the decay. So new life can emerge. So something very new and very strong and very in alignment with your heart, with your direction, is suddenly, either entering your life or awakening within you. Maybe it was there a little dormant because it was covered with so much, well, a level of denial and fear. There's a new journey, a new mission, a new direction, an exciting one, a healing one. I said it's in alignment, extra confirmation, very much in alignment with your spirit, with your soul, with the universal, with the cosmic will. Okay. It doesn't swim against the current of evolution of consciousness of the universe. So it's like, so you're supported. Serendipity, opportunity supports you, spirit supports you. So an opportunity is going to come up that is going to be perfect, right? In the right timing, in the right place, in the right way. I do see a resolve as well of something that you've been struggling with that has been kind of weighing on you. Four of Cups, Three of Cups, and Queen of Pentacles. You're kind of letting go of the insecurity or the doubts of this could be also why you held on to something that was already not working, because you were worried that the thing you truly wanted and wouldn't even admit to yourself that you truly want, you were a little bit insecure about it, wasn't sure if it would work or if it's mutual. But especially here with the Three of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, it is, you're finding out that something is mutual, that someone does want the same thing that you want. So let's say this is about a person that you have feelings for or interested in. So you might be realizing that it's mutual, that it can work well together, that there's possibility, not possibility, actually, the card's actually showing union, connection, very grounded connection. Though the Queen of Pentacles, it's something very grounded. This can also be a homecoming kind of celebration, or like a homecoming party, or maybe you're moving into a new place and you're inviting friends over. There's a level of celebration of like, oh, so great to see you. I feel like you're gaining more sense of trust with yourself, like with your with your ability to be discerning and clear, because of the time frame of this reading will show you that you were able to recognize when something no longer is relevant or no longer works, and you were able to make the changes to lead you to somewhere that really works for you. And that gives you a sense of trust with yourself. I'm like, oh, I got this. A new sense of adventure as well, and excitement for life, for whatever opportunity this is. So this might require travel. or a trip. Hmm. Five of Pentacles, very interesting. Bottom of the deck, Judgment. Let's take it. And Six of Wands and the Fool. Yeah, let's take them as well. Okay, so Five of Pentacles, Judgment, Six of Wands, and the Fool. Ooh. You're gonna get some really good news that will um, take you out of a very difficult situation, and that will make you feel like free of a very difficult, very painful situation, free of a very karmic, painful entanglement, maybe like a trauma bond of some sort, um, connection that isn't based in heartfelt love, more so on codependency of some sort. And because we had the devil earlier, I would say control. And there's this very sudden but very strong and very clear turn of event. Um, I don't know if it's like really great news or again an opportunity, but it puts you on the horse. Like it puts you in a very victorious place where you feel like you are free of something that has been very, very oppressive and abrasive. That has been really holding you back. I'm picking up on a commitment of some sort that has been holding you back, or a promise that you made that is no longer relevant, that you don't want to live by anymore. So it's like you're making this, maybe it's you making the statement, making the announcement, like, I'm not living by this anymore. I'm not bound to this anymore. I make a new vow, or I unvow, or whatever the case. And that gives you such sense of freedom and autonomy and independence, very independent energy, very free energy. You get to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, say what you want to say, which I find interesting because you think you think that this is granted, like this is obvious, like, well, we're all free. This is, it's the 21st century. Those of us that live in first world countries have the freedom to go where we want to go, say what we want to say, not free of the consequences, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to ask permission to go somewhere. You don't need to ask permission to say something or to speak to someone or to make any choice that is like, I'm picking up on like really daily basic things, which is interesting. Um, like it's the little things that will make you feel like some of you have been like really cooked up in something, held up in something, held in something. If someone has been like coercing you or shaming you or guilting you, um, I feel like suddenly you're no longer under their influence. Suddenly it's like it doesn't matter to you that they don't approve or that they disagree, or whatever the case. It's like if it used to like really bother you, now you're like, okay, so you don't like it. Okay, so you don't approve. Okay. You have the right, um you have the right to feel the way you feel, to think what you think. You don't have the right to impose. Believe in any stone you want, just don't throw it at me, right? I don't think that way, and I am an autonomy and my own person, and I get to say no, or I get to say yes, or I get to say maybe, I get to say what I get to what I want to say. And it's like, and I also get to change, right? You also get to change. You get to change your mind. And then you get to change your mind again. And then you get to change your mind again. And it might not be ideal and it could be messy, but that's life. And sometimes that's what our path requires. More often than not, our path is not linear and straight. It's like zigzaggy and circular, and that's okay. Um, it could be you telling someone off, like, well, I'm sorry that's how you feel, that's what you think. I'm still gonna do it, and then you go and do it, and you're free. Now, the fool, he jumps off a cliff, but he doesn't crash. It's not like that type of cliff. It's understanding the world is full of cliffs, and that it doesn't mean that you shouldn't walk. You still gotta walk. You still gotta move when you need to move. There are dangers and risks at every turn. Things can go well, things can work out, things cannot work out. Who knows until you try? And it's like, just because a potential of a cliff exists, just because the potential of falling exists, doesn't mean that the potential of flying doesn't exist, right? So you gotta do what you gotta do, right, Taurus? Stay magic, stay true, stay free. I love you. Bye for now.